Let's hit the mats at Littleton Gym for the Region IV-6A Wrestling Championships with berths in next week's state tournament on the line. The boys were up first, and we begin our coverage with a great battle at 138 pounds. New Braunfels' Aiden Valadez taking on Reagan's Jimmy Benny. Valadez up 3-1 late in the third. He avoids the shot here and quickly notches a takedown to solidify his lead. Valadez goes on to win the match 5-1 to earn the regional title. A few matches later, 160-pound division, last year's state runner-up Lee's Austin Hartman-Gruber taking on Madison's Jackson Gonzalez. Hartman-Gruber scores a takedown in the first period. He controls the match the rest of the way, winning by a final of 7-3 and securing his fourth straight regional title. Hartman-Gruber's already focused on the next step.
This year is redemption. I took second last year, and this year I'm just on a roll. I want to conquer and progress my career to the next level. So I'm going to take first this year, and then NCAA champion.
At 170 pounds, another state veteran takes the mat. Johnson's Caleb Sebra against Churchill's Josh Cotterman. Sebra in total control of this one, up 4-0 late in the second period. He earns 3 points on a near fall. Not quite enough for a pin, but he'd still get the win 9-1 and return to state. Next matchup at 182 pounds, Sebra's teammate Antonio Perez taking on New Braunfels' Landon Marsh. Right off of the first whistle, Marsh takes control of the match, going low and sweeping the leg for the takedown. Then later in the first, he'd almost turned an attempted takedown into a pin. Instead, it's a near fall worth 3 points. Marsh is heading back to state as a regional champ. 8-0 is the final.
My coach says it all the time. He doesn't get too happy because it's expected. So that's kind of the thought process I've had through district and regionals. I've just been competing for a very long time. So I think I'm older and I've been working harder, and I have a better understanding of what I should be doing and how the pace I should take in my matches coming up.
Later on, 195-pound bracket, Johnson's C.J. Adair versus New Braunfels' Ethan House. This one's scoreless until the second period until, check this out, Adair gets House on the ground, locks his hands, and quickly turns it into a pin. Just like that, Adair is heading back to state.
Anything can happen, and anyone can beat anybody. So you're looking for the upset, always looking to be better and continually get better through the week and prepare for those big matches.
Last but not least, the District 14-6A rematch for the regional title. Roosevelt's Roman Salazar against Reagan's Sawyer Peavy. This one just as tightly contested as their last bout, but Salazar's takedown here in the third period puts him up 8-4, which gives him just enough breathing room to survive a late rally. Salazar is the regional champ by an 8-7 decision.
I was kind of knowing what to expect. I knew it was going to be a hard match. I feel really good. It's my first time going to state. I feel really good. I feel really confident going to state now. I feel like there's a lot on my shoulders because of that. I got to represent my school now.
Earlier in the final sessions, Johnson's Troy Garrow won the 120-pound bracket for the first time in his career. He defeated Austin Vandegrift's Carter Taylor 6-4 and is heading back to state. On the girls' side, let's head to the 128-pound bracket for an intense battle between Lee's Sabrina Cervantes and Churchill's Audrey Brown. Brown stayed in the bout after an apparent shoulder injury, and she actually led 1-0 in the second until Cervantes took control with a takedown late in the period, and that's going to turn into a pin in the final second of the period. And for the first time in her career, Cervantes is a regional champion.
It was a very tough match. I always compete against her so many times. This is my first pin against her. I just had to fight through it since first place. Since my senior year, this is where I really wanted to be, and I fought really hard so many years of doing this, and I finally made it to the end.
A few matches later, 148 pounds, Smithson Valley's Sage Benka took care of business against Vista Ridge's Hannah Simonson. Benka prized Simonson onto her back and gets the ref to call it just over a minute into the match. Benka is still undefeated this season, and now she's a regional champ for the fourth straight year. She's ready for more.
I'm ready to win it all. Go big or go home. I'm going to pull every stop to win this state title. And I put too much work into everything to get to where I'm at. So I got to go out there and win it for myself.
Her teammate, Selena Cifuentes, took the mats against Churchill's Elizabeth Strickland in the 165-pound title bout. Up 3-0 in the second, Cifuentes gets the leverage she needs to turn Strickland over onto her back and secure the pin with 15 ticks left in the period. She is heading to state as a regional champion. Earlier in the tournament, Madison senior Heavenly Guerra defeated Steele's Emily Barajas 8-7 to win the 95-pound title, and she put on some cool glasses on the podium. And Steel senior Maria Aponte took down Vista Ridge's Carly Brandon via third-period pin to win the 102-pound bracket. Her victory was a highlight for the Knights, who ended up claiming the overall team title. We've got a lot more local sports highlights from wrestling, basketball, and swimming on the BGC page at ksat.com. Swing by to check them out as we prepare for next week's state tournament in Cypress.